Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review, right? We haven't done movie reviews, it's been a little bit. Just to reiterate, just in case anybody was wondering what happened to the reviews and, where did all these reviews, what happened to them? Well, um, I just been in a bit of a funk. I don't really want to get into it, but um, just been dealing with a couple of things and just been ultimately just trying to figure out how to get past certain things. Um, to give an update, I'm doing better. I'm doing better. It's finally starting to move forward. And today actually was actually a good day of healing, I would say. So, but but the importance of today is that I finally saw a movie, and the movie that I saw was something that I was actually really anticipating to see, and I finally got the time to watch it, and that of course is Minari. Minari is a um, it's it's an interesting film, I have to say. There's a lot of things I liked about it, and there's something about it that I found to be at first I thought it's been negative, but then turned out to be something suitable for the film. But we'll get into it. So Minari is a film about a Korean American family who move out from California to Arkansas to start a new life, and we see through their perspectives how they each feel about the given situation, and ultimately the importance of family and about sticking with one another through the hard times, through the low points, through the high points, through the important moments in each person's life, and really being there for one another. Um, Now, if that premise sounds familiar, I mean, we've seen that premise done time and time again. But what Minari does very, very well is that it understands its limits, and it just plays to it, and that plays actually plays to its strengths in many ways, because it's self-aware as to what type of story it really is. It's not trying to go above and beyond. Um, I'm not trying to say this is like a surface level film. I mean, it has um, it has qualities that are familiar, which is my negative with the film, is that I think that the film does feel very familiar, and the way that it navigates its story is also quite familiar. But the reason why I don't really take that negative so harshly, or really it impacted my viewing as much, is because the execution, the solid ensemble. I think that that's honestly the highlight. One of the highlights of the film is the ensemble itself is probably the best that I've seen, probably from 2020, maybe. Possibly I have to recheck. They were all great. Steven was great. The little kid was absolutely adorable. The little kid was just adorable, absolutely sweet. Um, the grandma was amazing. I think the grandma did a great job. Whoever played the grandmother did an amazing job. Um, but the standout by far, in a way, is the cinematographer. This is a gorgeous movie. It is shot beautifully. Some of the wide frames of just like the farmhouse or the shelters, and there's just beautiful shots of like Stephen just like like standing in a field, and it's like a purple sky. It just looks so good. So the cinematography is just absolutely the best thing about Minari. Um, and while it does tread in familiar territory, ultimately at the end of it, um, my worries for that familiarity began to fade, because its execution, its solid performances really, and of course its beautiful cinematography, is what really kept me invested. It's what kept me intrigued, and it kept me invested enough to wanting to see how this film plays out. And like I said, I knew what the end result was going to be, but the ride was worth it, because it's a gorgeously shot piece with a ridiculously charming ensemble, particularly in the sun. It is familiar territory, but it does harken to those tropes of such ground. But its execution, the solid performances, and once again the gorgeous cinematography and the stunning landscapes really make up for it to a degree, and create a satisfying journey worth taking. Um, because I would say the first like 10 minutes I got worried. But by the end of it, I was like, I do acknowledge that I've seen this story before, but I'd be lying if I say that I did not. I'd be lying if I say that I did not enjoy the story that I just watched, because I really did. Even though it is familiar, it was still a very well told story in my book.